take your annual income and make it your monthly income. If you are someone that is in a traditional job, if you're like me, maybe you went to college, you got a good degree, you went out and got a job, and you're finding that it's not everything it was cracked up to be. You're looking for other options. You're wondering if there is a better way. In this video, I talk with my friend Michelle, who is also in her 30s. She's just started a family of her own, and she, like me, just got fed up with the idea of a traditional 9 to 5. And her mom was earning in a month what she herself in her corporate job was earning in a year. And she went, you know what? My mom's figured something out that I haven't yet. And I need to understand what this whole MLM thing really is about and if network marketing is actually possible. So Michelle and I in this conversation really get into demystifying this industry and helping people to understand the difference between this and affiliate marketing, how network marketing is just a better way if you're looking to make money online, and the potential earning power that you have in something like this. So I hope you enjoy this conversation. If you've got questions, if you want to talk more about creating an option for yourself, it does take time to build up a business like this, but guys, time is going to pass anyway. So enjoy this conversation and I'll talk to you on the other side. All right. Well, welcome, Michelle. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. It has been a pleasure getting to know you through ASEA and the years that we've been able to do this together and growing this business. And I have admired you from afar and just absolutely love your journey because it, I think, mirrors so much of my own. And I think so many can relate to it. So I would love to just dive in. Can you give everybody a little bit of insight into your career path and how it has landed into ASEA and the network marketing space?
All right. Well, likewise, Danielle, I just want to say that I've admired you from afar as well. And I think you're dynamite. And I think it's really fun to learn from each other.
Oh, it is. Totally is.
It is. And so to share with you and everyone about my journey in terms of how I started in the traditional career and then kind of segued into a different type of career and then ultimately ASEA. Get into a little bit more detail about that. I went to college and then for 4 years, did the whole thing, graduated. And during that time, it was the big recession. I think it was about 2006, 7. Yeah. And so I graduated with an art history degree, hoping to work at the museum. And I spent hours and hours at the museum, hoping that I could be maybe a docent, a curator, something like that. But because of the climate of the workforce, I found myself going in a different direction, which was medical marketing. And so I landed there. Yeah. And I loved the product. I loved the people. I loved the company. However, I felt that with the work structure that a lot of us know, you go at a set time, you're expected to be there from this time to this time, and your growth is limited to what your reviews were. Yeah. And I also found myself trading my time for freedom. Yeah. But that's all I really knew. Like I said, it's what we were taught.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And so because I thought, oops, is that me? I apologize. Because I thought that with more schooling comes more opportunity to grow and more pay, I decided to go back to school. And I started night school, which was fun, and I learned a lot. And then ultimately that took me to my next job, which went from private to public. And I thought, whoa, this is going to be different and probably better. Yeah. Which is nice because with the public sector, you also have nice things like a stipend and you get to meet really cool individuals, professors, doctors, people who are in research. That's the department I ended up being in, which is like the office of research. And so I did a lot of research, science, non-science, the whole gamut. Yeah. And during that time, I was also being introduced to ASEA. And my mom, she introduced the product to us and asked me to try it. And I thought, what is this? What is this magic water, right? I'm not going to try this. And you and I, and probably a lot of people have been there where we have all these doubts.
Yep.
And I said, absolutely not. I'm not going to drink this. It tastes funny. If I wanted this, I'll just go take a dip in the pool kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, mom, because joke's on me, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
I thought, yeah, I saw her lifestyle, and my lifestyle was very part of the rat race, part of the
Mm.
grind, of the driving through traffic and rush hour. And it just got worse and worse, the traffic. And I found myself just pretty much living a quarter of my day in my car, which
Yeah.
isn't horrible if, people need to
Listening
drive
to
from,
things.
yeah, yeah, from place to place. But it
Yeah.
became like a grind, and
Mhm.
it was grating on me. And again, I found myself in the same position where I was trading my time
Mhm.
for freedom. And luckily, because when I was a kid, my mom was introduced to MLM,
Mhm.
and I didn't find MLM to be that thing,
Ah,
the thing that people are very turned off to just because it's called MLM.
yeah.
No, I was turned off to ASEA at first because I didn't know about it, and I didn't have the education and the insight into what an amazing product it is.
Right.
So that's why it kind of took me a while to become integrated.
Hmm.
Um, but that's another story.
I mean, this whole concept of cellular health and, longevity and vitality, it's like we're in our 30s and I want to feel this way for a long, long time. Like I've got energy, I've got the mental clarity, I'm not getting sick. Like that is something that I now understand, like starts at our cells. And so if we can keep the cells functioning optimally, it all makes a lot of sense. Um,
Right.
but talk to me about the business switch for you because, obviously you're getting a little drained from, I mean, the traffic where you live is insane. It's like world renowned for how terrible it is. But beyond that, there is this like realization where you go, wow, like, was this all worth it? Going to school, putting in the hours, getting a job. Yeah, sure, I'm making money, but like at the end of the day, I'm not getting home like with any time to do much of anything but eat dinner and I'm exhausted. So I go to bed, wake up, do it again. Like, and you only get so much time off, paid holiday. Like, I've watched so many of my friends that got to decide, Thanksgiving, Christmas, like which one am I going to see my family? Which one am I not? Now that they're married, it's like now there's even choice between, well, whose family do we get to see? And it's just like when there's an option that says, no, actually, you can control your time and your hours, and you don't have to ask permission. It can be exciting. So what kind of caused you to see the light with that and choosing something that's maybe more unknown, right? I think the corporate world and structure, we're taught since we're little, like go to college, get a good job, get a higher degree, get a better job. It's safe, it's known, it's doable if you work hard, if you achieve, like, you and I are both incredibly smart, incredibly successful in the corporate world, but it's lacking some things.
That's right. So great point. And that is ultimately also why I decided I need to look at something different, because I was not okay with the current state of things being the way it was. And so what happened was I went to a convention
Mm-hmm.
with my mom, and I met corporate. I was educated more on the products and the ethos and all the amazing things that makes ASEA. And so I was able to love the product and love the company,
Mm-hmm.
which that was the inception of already the direction to change.
Yeah.
And as I saw my mom's life, really seeing her set her own schedule,
Mm-hmm.
make breakfast for all of us, and take care of herself and take care of others around her, and make an income,
Mm.
and also make an income that was probably what she made in a month was what I made in a year. And I found it so funny that I was working this hard and she was working this hard too, but the results were vastly different.
Right.
And
Yep.
I thought, huh, how does this lady, my mom, who came to the US with nothing but like 2 suitcases, end up being in this position? And English isn't her first language. Uh, yeah, we even have difficulty having conversation in English sometimes because
Mhm.
it isn't her maiden language.
Right.
How does someone like that succeed?
Yeah.
Right. And I realized this structure, ASEA's structure, um, MLM, gives you the opportunity to break the glass ceiling.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you are an immigrant, a woman, a man, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a place for you. And what's so beautiful about ASEA is I went to one of the regional meetings um, back, I forgot which year, but it was the 3 people that really stuck out to me were Trish,
Mm.
Denny, and David. You're David Silverman.
Yeah. Hmm.
And all of them were so different. And they had all these wonderful nuggets to share. And I was sitting there thinking, okay, so everyone is so different, but everyone is very successful. And
Mm.
there's like a united love for the product and the company.
Yeah.
There's something here.
Hmm.
And I believe that if my mom is also like these leaders who can, take care of people, make that income, take care of their family, maybe I can too.
Mm.
And so that's how the switch began. And I started being more involved with ASEA on the side because, sometimes people can't just jump in cold turkey.
Right.
There's bills to pay. There's things to learn. And it's okay to take baby steps
Yeah.
because that's also the beauty of this of ASEA is you
Right.
can, yeah, start from wherever you are, go as fast or as slow as you want. And there's opportunity everywhere.
Yes.
And so that's why I made the switch because it made sense for me as my income started to grow, um, where my monthly income with ASEA was surpassing that of
Hmm.
my job.
Yep.
And I was, taking care of more things with ASEA and working with my mom. I loved it. I loved it. And I decided, time with my mom is more important to me than anything else. And because my mom came to the US and didn't have, the daily hangouts with her own mom,
Mm.
and phone calls back to Taiwan were so expensive back then. They barely had a chance to talk. And there was nothing like Zoom or FaceTime, nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what, I don't want that kind of life with my mom. I want to be able to see her. Um, and like I said, a lot of times people at the end of their life talk about regrets.
Hmm.
And because I have friends who are nurses, a lot of them just talk about not being able to spend more time with their loved ones.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to feel that way.
Yeah.
And I know my mom might have felt that way
Hmm.
when my grandma passed. Like, oh, I wish I had more time with her. And I know we'll always feel like that, but I don't want any regrets.
Right.
And so working with my mom, helping people, making a living, and taking care of my family, all of that was happening. And
Hmm.
so it made sense that I went full time.
Beautiful. It's incredible. It's an incredible vehicle. I love what you said that you were realizing, like, hang on a second, how is my mom making what I make in a year in my
Mhm.
traditional job in a month? Like, people don't talk about that. I went to one of our top universities here. I know you studied a lot as well. Like, nobody traditionally is teaching you how to go out and do that. Right? We're
Mhm.
being taught how to get good jobs. We're not being taught how to be an entrepreneur, how to create business, how to create wealth. And I think it's interesting that, people that immigrate to this country, I think they have a little bit more, like there's a drive that's there that sometimes I don't see in people that grew up here, like myself. I think they come with like, it's like the land of opportunity, right? And so you see opportunities. And I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. Like, why do you think network marketing is an opportunity that gets hidden from so many people? I mean, people like you and I that went to school, were in, having jobs that people would say, oh, wow, like, it's impressive you're doing these things. Why do you think it's hidden from people like us? But, it's kind of like this beautiful option for someone like your mom. It's like, it's not just for that. It's for anyone to set themselves free. But what's the misconception there that like it gets lost on most people?
That's a really good question. I wonder
Hmm.
uh, why people have an adverse reaction when you say the words MLM. They'll say, "Oh, it's one of those things." Yes, yes, right. It's bizarre to me because we know when they say no, do they know what they're saying no to?
Right.
And I don't, I don't really understand why. Maybe it's got a bad rap from people who have abused the system,
Mhm.
and somehow it's connected to network marketing as a whole.
Right.
Because aside from our company, I know many other companies out there that are using network marketing as a way of getting their products out there and taking care of their people.
Yep.
So why does it have a bad rap? And that's a great question. I would like to know why too.
Yeah. Because once you get on the inside of it, because I was one of those people that, my mom also had said to me, like, well, why don't you consider doing something like this? It's checking all your boxes. It's going to give you flexibility. You're going to have purpose. You're going to be able to help people. You only earn money if you're helping somebody. Like, you can decide when you want to work, where you want to work from. Like, it's completely flexible. And I remember saying to her, like, it's a sleazy thing. And she looked at me and she said, Danielle, there's nothing sleazy about these people. You need to come and meet them. And so thankfully I did. Like I had enough trust in her, like you did with your mom, to say, okay, well, maybe you see something that I don't see. Like I'll keep an open mind, or at least for a little bit. But most people, it's so cut off. And she really pushed me, like, well, why do you feel that way? And I'm like, I had nothing to base it off of. It was like things I had seen on TV shows, or like people making comments about, oh, pyramid things. And then when I was pushed, well, what's a pyramid thing? I was like, I don't actually know. Like people that, buy into something, and the people at the top make money. And then, I was shown this and they were like, that's not what happens here. Like someone that just came in could make more money than the person up here. And I was like, oh, then I really like, this is just confusing then.
Yeah.
How does it work? It's like mystified. It needs to be demystified, I should say. And yeah, it's interesting that pop culture looks at it like that. And I don't know why, but there's so many people, right? I see it in people our age and younger too, that are wanting more options. They're looking at our parents, and
Mhm.
saying, well, not your mom, but like traditional people that worked the 40 years, that dream, right? Work hard for 40 years and then you'll get to, live in your retirement. And I see many people that their parents are not well now that they've hit retirement. They're not able to really enjoy those years. And I see this kind of younger generation going, this doesn't make sense. Like, I want flexibility. I want to travel. Like, social media exists. You can make money on the internet from your phone. And so I'm curious, the landscape of network marketing also is changing because of these different ways that we can share and we can earn and connect with people. I'm curious, why do you think, or what would you say to someone that maybe is in the corporate job, but feeling stuck because like they're making good money. They've created a lifestyle for themselves. Maybe they've already started a family, but they're going, this is going to burn me out. Like if I stay on this trajectory, I'm not going to make it. And I know that I don't want it. What would you recommend to somebody? Like what's a first step, or where can they start to look to kind of expand this sort of business? Because you're right, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not meant to happen overnight.
Right. And I think you bring up many good points, actually, what you just said. For example, when you said a lot of people are seeing their parents retire, working that 40 years, not being healthy, that's number one, because health is wealth. If
It's
you don't
everything.
have your health, it's everything.
Yeah.
That's very, very unfortunate. I feel sad to hear that. But ultimately, you're working to enjoy your, I guess, golden years, whatever they call it,
Mhm.
right? The
Yep,
years that
exactly.
you have, yeah. And you want to do that uh, with all your health.
Mhm.
So for people who are looking for something else because they're feeling burned out in their current state, I think that's very common. I mean, I think that's the traditional way of work, the way work is.
Yeah.
Uh, and another point that you brought up, I want to mention, yes, MLM. This is a way of marketing, right? A
Mhm.
lot of people don't even realize you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you see someone use something, you decide you want to try it out too. You want to drink it, use it, whatever it is. That's also marketing, whether people know it or not.
Yeah.
Right. And when you go to the doctors and they prescribe something to you, I don't know if you know, that's also a different type of marketing, different type of sales.
Yeah.
And I think people need to remember that there's nothing wrong with one sales marketing. Everyone does it. It's part of the 4 P's of sales, right? It's like you have your product, your price, your place, and your promotion. If you think of a workout brand in your mind right now, we're probably thinking of the same one. Their cost of making something is this. This is, and the amount they pour into marketing is probably a huge amount that one famous person gets.
Yeah.
Why not use this chunk of profit that's going to someone and share it amongst a network of people? I think that's just like a concept I would like to throw out there for people to think about. Because if you think about the bank, sometimes they'll throw something out like, oh, come and open a bank account, put $100 in and leave it for 3 months and we'll give you $50. Interesting. And if you recommend a friend, we'll give you another $20. I see people all over that. And I think, why are people so into this conception? But when they think about network marketing, it's something different. I think it's all the same.
Yeah.
There's affiliate marketing. I have friends who are working the traditional work job, and they're also doing their side hustle, which is Instagram. You can make money off of Instagram. I think you should be making money off of the thing that you spend the most time on, which is your phone, right? If your phone or your computer is not making you some income and you're spending all this time on it and with it, something feels off.
Yeah.
And you and I, we both know anywhere in the world, anytime, as long as we have our technologies on us, we have the potential to make money, make an income, living, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And for people who are thinking about, do they want to check out ASEA or not? I think if people are posting on Instagram, hoping that some person or some company will see it and want to sponsor them or have them be an affiliate, and there's nothing happening yet, I think we have so many streams, so many different ways of making income that I feel personally there's more chance of you making a buck with just sharing ASEA than you would posting 100 posts on Instagram and getting absolutely nothing, like zero. And I think that's why I always emphasize you have to love the product, because you can't talk about something you don't know about. Yeah. And then from there, naturally, like I said, if you're already recommending a restaurant, a makeup brand, food, like anything, you have the ability to be part of ASEA, because we can't stop talking about ASEA when we're together.
We love it. And but I love what you're saying, because I don't think people realize. I think it was interesting to me to watch this craze with affiliate marketing and it take off and people be so like open to it. And I'm sitting there going, well, this to me is like a limited version of network marketing. Like I'm going like, guys, like you're getting a little bit screwed, because in affiliate marketing, you sell one time, you get that one time, and then they're a customer of the company. Bye. Like in network marketing, we say, great, share, and the company will pay you the first time, second, third, fourth, fifth. I'm still getting paid on stuff that I did 8 years ago, every single month. And the company says, thank you every single time, and then it's like, well, hang on, if I bring in other people that want to be quote unquote affiliates, I get paid on what they do too. I just like the fact that the affiliate model took off so crazy. I just go, oh my, you're getting screwed over when you could have like so much more if you just understood the workings and mechanics of network marketing. But that like mystery, that veil, that like weird conception that's out there, people have to, I guess, trust the person enough that's talking to them to go, okay, let me pause what I don't know, right? There's a lot of ignorance, like I don't know what I don't know. So let me pause that for a minute, put the judgment aside and see what's here. And I think people would understand that, like, hey, it's a little bit better maybe than some of these other options that are out there. And it's the fact of residual income, which I didn't understand. But for me, when my accident happened and I was unable to work, I was in my mid-20s. And I remember when I got healthy again, I just said, I never want to be in a position again, like you said so many times, that I'm exchanging time for money, because I couldn't put the time in and I couldn't earn. And it was like, well, how do you make money without your time? And I didn't know how to do it. And then it turned out, well, network marketing is the way. Like, it takes time up front. And of course, there's work that needs to go in, but residuals happen. And
Yes.
I think if people really understood the power of that, right? Like, you just recently had a little one, and you've been able to, maybe take the foot off the gas a little bit, enjoy a family. You just got married. Like, there's so much life that you can live while still earning, and that money still comes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. When you said that you don't want to be in a position where if you physically were not working, then you wouldn't have a way of making a living. And I think that is key, because that's why I realized, traditional or not, it's the way we're taught to work requires us to physically be there,
Yep.
or else, we don't make that income.
Exactly.
Right? Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
And when you have a team, right? We talk about the power of the team.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is unable to do something, we have so much support.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to take care of each other, and I think people don't realize that if you are able, for example, let's talk about Trish, right? Because she's like number one in the company. She makes money in her sleep. That's the concept I was taught when I was a kid by my mom, is if you are able to welcome network marketing into your life, you're welcoming the opportunity to make income in your sleep. And that didn't make sense until I was older.
Yeah.
And because I have my kid and my husband, and we're newlyweds with our baby, things are crazy.
Yeah.
But even still, in this season of life, ASEA is still so steady.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, like you said, you have to do the work up front. You have to get the lay of the land, take care of things. But once you have that system and you have your team taking
Mm-hmm.
care of each other, you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about not being there at that very moment in time, just because, you're not there, things will fall apart. No, you take care of your team so the team can take care of the team.
Exactly. Ah, beautifully said. Beautifully said. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time away from life, from everything that's going on, from your business, and to just share, because I want to be part of the voice out there for people to find, to go, oh, maybe this is different. Like, maybe these two do know something that I don't know. Like, why are two college educated women in their 30s not in corporate jobs? Like, what's going on here? And maybe what do they know that we don't know? So if anyone has questions, if you've made it this far in the video, I would say reach out. I'll put my number in the description, comment on here. Michelle and I are both always available to encourage, to answer questions, to help anyone that's wanting to get started and figure out, how to take a step in this direction. And it takes time, but consistency knows no failure. That's the one thing I will say. And Michelle, I just, to wrap this up, is there any advice or words of wisdom that you would leave anybody with that's considering this?
I would say, put aside your fears and your premonitions of what you think things are with ASEA. I think, looking at Danielle and myself, we are from completely different places in the US. We wouldn't have known each other if it weren't for ASEA, but we both were able to overcome our own obstacles in terms of getting to know ASEA.
Yeah.
Yes, and please don't let something drastic happen to you. I'm talking about not just health, but like monetary.
Yeah.
just all sorts of things can happen. Like we hope that you are in a good place when you come to meet ASEA, and that you can see something in it that can help you and your family. And hopefully, you can be part of our ASEA family.
Absolutely. We welcome it. We want to expand it, and appreciate you so much. And guys, if you're listening, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share this with a friend. It's always fun to start with a friend. So this is something that Michelle said so beautifully. It's a team. It's like a team. And I for one played team sports my like whole life. So when I found this, it just made sense. It's so much more fun to do something with others. You win if you help other people win. Like, it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's really like friendships that turn into what feel like family. And we want to expand the family. All
Appreciate
right.
you, Danielle.
Back at you, Michelle. All right. Bye, everybody.